Ford posting a blowout first quarter, beating earnings and sales estimates. The stock is rallying in the pre-market. For more on the results, we are joined by Citigroup analyst Itay Michaeli. He is with us on the phone. Itay, good morning. Thanks for being with us. You have a hold on the stock, one of 8 analysts, 11 say buy. Do the results today make you reevaluate your stance?
Well, they were very strong results. They came in about 62 cents of EPS. We had them at 52 cents. I will say a lower tax rate did help some of that, but nonetheless, the automotive profitability was in line with our view, and the earnings at the finance company were a little bit better, and cash flow was very strong. So I think Ford proved today that what we saw last quarter, the seasonal low point for margins, was just that. It was seasonality, and that this was a very nice bounce in Q1 as expected.
Itay, what do you think can happen with sales in the quarters ahead? Ford sold, what, 1.4 million units in the first quarter. They say production is going to be 1.5 in the second quarter. How quickly can they get up to that 1.5 mark in terms of sales?
Yeah, we think sales should be very good. Seasonally, sales do typically improve in the second quarter, and also we think the domestic automakers, not just Ford but also GM, should stand to gain a little bit of pricing and market share in the next couple of quarters, partly because of some of the Japan-related supply constraints. So we think the outlook for market share for Ford as well as GM is positive in the next couple of quarters, as is the pricing outlook. And that's good because commodity costs are going up, structural costs are going up, so some of these potential share and pricing gains can help offset some of these headwinds.
So on that point, does $33 billion, slightly north of $33 billion in the first quarter, set a new floor, as it were, for Ford quarterly sales going forward? Because right now, the average estimate for the second quarter is something in the order of $32 billion.
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure if it sets a real floor. I think, you're going to have seasonal production swings. There's also going to be some production impact to Ford themselves from Japan. So I think the focus really is on the profitability, the margins, and we now know in Q1 that we saw a very good bounce, particularly in North America, where the margin exceeded 10%. So that was a real, big focal point, besides the sales number.
Ford did reduce its debt to close to $15 billion last year, but we still know out of all the automakers still has the most debt outstanding. Is this one reason why you have a hold instead of a buy?
The hold is partly on a valuation issue. We have a $17 target. We did take the view last week that the stock could have a bounce on what we thought would be a very good quarter, and we're seeing that bounce happen in the last couple of days, and we think we'll see some of it this morning as well. Our one-year view is still a hold, largely on valuation, and also our view that Ford's product cycle may be starting to hit a peak, and we just think there's better product cycle momentum at General Motors, which we do rate as a buy. So we like the story at Ford. I think they're doing a terrific job, both operationally on the balance sheet, but in the one-year outlook, we think valuation and some of the product cycle issues that we've highlighted just prevent us from having a buy rating at the time.
Itay, one last question for you. I'm not sure you've seen these headlines that we ran just a few moments ago, but Ford says quality performance was mixed in the first quarter, and they found some quality issues in the North American operations. Is that something Ford can really afford right now, given the fact that they're on this comeback trail? I still remember all those Ford commercials, quality is job one. That has to be a concern for Alan Mulally, does it not?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, whenever you have quality issues, it's a concern. But they've done a phenomenal job in the last couple of years of improving the product, the quality, and the technology. They tend to score very well in many third-party surveys and other studies. So they did have a couple of issues, and that's natural, particularly when you're ramping up production. When you're coming up from a low point in sales, you're bound to have some issues. But, we're pretty confident they'll be able to work them out in the next several months.
All right, Itay, thanks for joining us. Itay Michaeli, an analyst at Citigroup, talking to us about Ford. He's maintaining his hold rating, says that valuation is a concern.